you've seen the early stage investments ecosystem in Indonesia and Vietnam, yeah? Are there similar to kind of the term sheets and the deals are similar to Japan, like from the seed to success in 3 months, 5% X dollar, and then after that 200 to half a million, and then the Series A and whatnot. The reason I'm asking is I think the ecosystem in Turkey grew a lot, yet the early stage investments are still very low, or for very high percentage of the companies compared with like YC in San Francisco. I'm wondering if you observe something like that in Vietnam and Indonesia versus Turkey.
I see. Ecosystem-wise, it's still, let's say, thin. Thin in the size, thin in the diversity, thin in the kind of social backup. And it also gets related with how the company or the investment at least can get the exit. So, for example, in Indonesia, we could still hardly see, we can only see very kind of a tiny hole of the potential exit. One is to be listed in Jakarta market, but the Jakarta market is still, composed of large companies like natural gas, infrastructure, but not internet. And there will be the M&As by the local conglomerate, potentially. And the third exit would be acquired by the multinational giants like Google, Facebook, eBay, and so on. So as far as I see the emerging market like Indonesia, Vietnam, I see relatively kind of a tiny exit patterns. So that makes those earlier investors or seed round investors not that much active compared to, of course, US or compared to Japan. So, but how I see the market is actually, but for those entrepreneurs who really look the long term, not just catching the boom, but if we really look at the long term, thinking about their business for next 10 years, I think for those entrepreneurs, there are more rooms for the investment because there are some patterns of internet businesses. My expertise is actually e-commerce area, so when I see the patterns, there are patterns, like a marketplace will be big and big and big in the future, for example. And for example, price comparison also, big and big and big and more important as time goes on. So for those entrepreneurs who look really kind of long term, there will be a more opportunity for seed funding or Series A funding. But for those entrepreneurs who look very short term, just to build a company and to sell in 1 or 2 years, I think there are less rooms for them in those emerging markets. Or not maybe also in developed countries, but I see very typical kind of two separation. One long term, one super short. And that's also happening in Indonesia or Vietnam and other places too. So, yeah.
I would like to ask a question to Bora at the end. As a foreigner in Japan, how it is difficult to start a business? You have started a business and exited, I think. And what are your experiences about that?
Sure. I think entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs everywhere, and any entrepreneur can live and survive. I think even in Mars maybe. But I felt something, I couldn't do anything without the people around me supporting me. The people, for example, Sato-san introduced me a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people, and my customers also was very supportive to me because, Japan is conservative, very conservative, especially to foreigners. So at first it was really hard to start. But when I started, I thought the most important thing was the technology. But I felt that was wrong, and the most important thing is people. So without people, you cannot succeed. That's what I really felt in Japan. It's a very long story, but to make it short, I've been living there for 8 years, and I went there for university. For master and doctor courses. I studied natural language processing there, and I started my company in PhD stage, and I ran that company for 4 years and sold it, and tried to make another company, but I failed in that. But after that, I joined NetPrice, and now I'm in charge of investments in Asian countries, but I'm very newbie in investment business.